Hey everybody, happy new year. Um yeah, here we are live. Um I hope you enjoyed the old school movie intros. That was definitely more for me than anything. Um because I think it's fun. And it's really when it comes to doing things like this and goals, one of the things that can get in our way is perfectionism. And I know that has definitely been an issue for me at times, and something that's kept me from doing more of these before, because there's a certain level of production value that I would want to have. And obviously, I mean, things are going to change. I'm not always going to be using the Max Headroom background. Let's be honest about that. But right now, I am. And I'm not always going to be running movie theater intermission things, but right now I am. And that was something that, okay, even though I know that didn't work well and you guys didn't get the audio from it on the countdown, but I'm really hoping that my audio is going through. But that's something that, in the past might have kept me from doing this. Oh, well, I can't do because I'm not going to have this. It's not going to look this way, blah, blah, blah. And these are the stories we tell ourselves that keep us from achieving our goals. It's the that I kind of talked about a little bit yesterday. It's that the how and why um, of things that get in our way. And sometimes I know when I decided to, all right, start embracing being online, making content uh, for things, and using social media, I had a lot of resistance that I had to overcome to make that goal of actually doing it. And there was also a huge learning curve involved too. We're at the point where it seemed so overwhelming. Like I'm thinking, when you see a mountain in the distance, it's big, but it doesn't look that big. And then when you get closer to it, you're like, oh my God, all right, how do I get up that? And that was something I ran into. And that's something a lot of people run into when it comes to following their goals, achieving their goals. Because we never really know how little we actually know until we set out to do something. And so I don't know if you guys made New Year's resolutions or not. If you did, or if you have goals for 2023, I hope that, even though it is just today 2023, I hope that you are uh having a lot of success with them so far, even though we're not that far into it. About 11 hours right now. So but I think it's important to remember that only about 9% of people actually achieve their New Year's resolutions, and 9% stick to them. And I mean, like, I knew it was low. I didn't realize it was that low. Or maybe I'm surprised it was wasn't higher. I'm not sure, but that means like people are just somewhere along the lines giving up, and or just saying, oh, okay, this isn't going to work. Or that common life happens and something gets in the way and it derails us, and then we don't do it. There can be multiple reasons, um, but there's always a deeper reason to it. Um, so when it comes to that 9%. I know as a hypnotist, what I will see a lot of is usually by the third week of January and going into February, that's when I start getting a lot of calls, people that want to stick to the changes they've made or that they've started to fall off. They want to stay on track because immediately, like right now, we've got that dopamine hit of new year, yeah, arbitrary calendar date, and this is new year, new me. I'm sticking to it. I'm doing all this, and I mean, it's a big dopamine hit. It's really powerful, and it can be really motivating. But then when we start to hit the resistance, when we start to see how big the mountain actually is, that's when it goes okay. And when we have like patterns, habits, beliefs set, our subconscious mind wants to keep them and it will fight tooth and nail to keep those old patterns in place. And it tries to rationalize all sorts of reasons to help us not follow our goals, um, avoiding it. Where, okay, this didn't happen, or well, I'm not going to do this, or I need to do this first, and until this happens, then I'm not going to do it, and then people start to fall off, or they try to push, but really, like they're burning willpower. And the thing I've noticed doing this is that pattern seems to be, like right around that third week of January, like I said, and it's funny because there is actually a statistical reason for it, and that is because the most common day that people give up on their New Year's resolutions is January 17th. So just over a couple weeks, that's when people give up, and that day, January 17th, actually has a name for it. It's so common. It's called Ditch Your New Year's Resolution Day. And so that's when a lot of people will do it. And like I said, 9% of people are actually going to follow through on their resolutions, but a shocking 42% of people just give up on them by the end of January. And like I said, there's a number of reasons for that, but what I want to focus on is how you can not be in that 42%, how you can avoid participating in Ditch Your New Year's Resolution Day and stick to it. And because I want you to end up in that 9% of people that follow through on their resolutions, on their goals. And that is why I'm starting a 5-week program for those of you who are truly resolute in achieving your goals. It's called Being Resolute, and it is a goal setting program. So, and we're going to look at all of the common things that come up that create resistance in us when it comes to our goals, those hidden things that hold us back, that trick how we trick ourselves into letting go of our goals. So, and the focus is going to be on staying motivated and really just enjoying the journey. And if there's something that you take away from watching this little talk today, it's I think that when it comes to creating our goals, it's important to enjoy the journey and don't get so hung up on achieving the goals. Because that's a lot of baggage that comes with that. And like I said, there's the end point, and then there's the starting point. And we might think it's here, but we don't really know just how far away it might be. And I know I did a good job with my goals over this past year. Were they exactly the way I pictured them? Absolutely not. Did they happen as fast as I wanted? Absolutely not. but I still was consistent and I followed through on them to make it happen. And there were times that that was easier said than done, obviously. But when it comes to it, I think, okay, what is the bigger goal that I have? And how do I achieve that? And I know it's not going to happen overnight. Um, so if it's how do I have the life that I want if I'm not achieving this goal, then what you have to realize is the problem of looking at things that way is that the goals never end. And once we get to one goal, yeah, that creates another one, and then another one, and then another one as we are moving towards that. And if we're constantly creating goals, chasing goals, like, okay, I want to get here and I just need to do this. And then once you do that, you realize, oh, well, that's actually further away. So now I just need to do this. Now I need to do that. And then we're never actually getting to that place because each goal creates another one. And but the problem with that and where people will lose themselves and just decide, you know what, I'm giving up, is because they're not enjoying the journey of it. They're not enjoying the path to the success that they want. It's um yeah, because we're just focusing on outcomes and we're creating an attachment to that outcome. We're not open to all of the great stuff that we're seeing around us. We're not open to the wins. We're not having fun with our goals. And like, yeah, there's something like, that I'm sure everybody's heard that phrase. It's like the journey is the destination. And I feel like it gets used improperly a lot, but it's really true because the goals provide us with a direction. But what we're doing is we are that direction takes us on the journey. So in that respect, like the journey is the destination. As long as we have goals and we're not just drifting around. But they provide us with a framework. They provide us with a direction to go to. And if we're laser focused on that, then maybe we're missing a lot of great stuff around us and we're not seeing the progress that we make. And especially at the start of moving forwards and achieving a goal, that is incredibly easy to do because we haven't made any progress. It's just the start. I mean, this is just the start for me. I'm doing this live and telling you about this workshop, but I'm not seeing any results of that yet. I'm not fully feeling it. Like I have no idea what's happening. I can't even tell right now if anybody's watching this, or maybe they'll watch it on the replay. I don't know. It doesn't matter because my goal is to do this workshop in this moment as part of a larger goal that I will always be going to because I'm always growing and changing. And everything else is the journey in between. And it becomes, how do I have fun with that? So I can keep doing it and enjoying life while I have to, and knowing where my starting point is, and just kind of seeing what happens. Because like I said, there are no problems, there's only situations. And even when things can feel overwhelming, like it's just the situation that we're in, and situations always change. So we won't always be in that situation. And we we can let go of the overthinking it, basically. Um, but yeah, so part of what I want to do with this program is to show you the proper way to set your goals and how to program them so your subconscious mind is going to be on board with them. So it's easier to go to it. So it doesn't feel like you're burning through that willpower where it's just becoming automatic. You're not thinking about where you're not. You are just in the moment. You are present, you are doing, you are being on your way to achieving the goal, and doing that incrementally, focus on just 1% at a time. And we, as human beings, we have a negativity bias. And like where we never really, the things that we perceive as bad, going to assign value judgments to things, stand out more than the things that are good. There's an evolutionary reason it protects us. Everything that we do is meant to either protect us or to give us pleasure. That's just how it is. Um, so we don't, because of that negativity bias, we're never really seeing all the great progress that we are making. We're not seeing how that 1%, that one little thing that we're doing, eventually starts adding up. And then we get compound interest as we move towards our goals. And then the next thing you know, boom, you're there. So, and so that's one of the things that, this workshop is going to go over. Um, Staying motivated, enjoying the process, um, stopping that internal fight with your emotions that keep it stuck. Because, like I said, we are the stories we tell ourselves, and we will find, and our mind wants us to stay put because, again, it's trying to protect us. So if something is, and usually our goals are kind of, outside, somewhere outside of our comfort zones, and that's a difficult place to go. And our mind wants to keep us in in the comfort zones. So it will it will come up with ways to justify keeping us stuck, and that's where a lot of the blocks come in. Oh, I can't do this, I have to do this, the supposed tos. Oh, I'm supposed to do this instead, I can't do this because I'm supposed to do that. And then people will also worry about failing, like, oh no, what if I fail at it, what if I can't do it? Well, I mean, if you're not doing it, then you're kind of proving yourself that, right? I mean, there's only one way to know. And then how do you want to define failure exactly? Um, or more importantly, how do you actually define success? And what's what exactly is the difference there? How can you turn failure into success? Because I don't believe in failure, unless we just give up on something. Um, and then another thing is worry. People will worry about, oh, well, what are people going to think about me? And that can stop you from moving forward. Or maybe you just don't have that belief in yourself to do it, or just constantly getting distracted, procrastinating, or whatever other issue. I will show you how to get past that and find that belief in yourself. Because and also understand that sometimes that's okay. Sometimes it is okay to make excuses, to prioritize other things, or to let it go, because maybe like that thing that you want, that goal, maybe the actual value of it isn't actually high enough to step into like that discomfort that you're going to feel uh to get it. And maybe there's something else that should be done before that you can do. But a lot of it is getting comfortable with feeling discomfort, moving out of that comfort zone so you can grow and enjoy the journey. not avoid it. And to be honest with yourself, and to find out if you really don't want it bad enough, or are you just making it scarier and harder than it needs to be in your own mind than it actually is. Um, or if you don't have a belief that you could actually handle it. So find out how to do that, get your mind on board with it, so you aren't avoiding, so you're doing it. Freeing yourself from those internal emotional conflicts, overcoming your fears, letting go of that negative self-talk that comes up. Um, because that's really the key, is to um just become comfortable feeling discomfort and setting the goals. So yeah, that's one of the biggest thing I want to talk about. But just remember, like, whatever it is, if we're thinking about success, if we're thinking about failure, it happens just a little bit at a time. It's all happens one step at a time, whether we are giving up or if we're succeeding. It's always one little thing at a time. In the big scheme of things, we don't even see it coming until it's happened. And that is true if we give up on something or if we don't. Like, or if we fail at something or if we succeed. Um and if we're consistent at doing it, maybe it takes a little longer than we initially planned, but we still move forwards, and that's good. And can you be okay with that? You're not giving up. Is that failure? I don't think so. Um, so yeah, just doing that, because yeah, maybe there is a day when life actually does get in the way, but that doesn't mean that you have to give up on everything. And so the one of the big things, and this is something that I never really enjoyed doing too much when it comes to goal setting, but is very helpful. And a little trick I'm going to tell you about today, and that's, you know, journaling, tracking it. When you measure and you track whatever you do, it always improves. Um, and when we write down our goals, then we can measure and track them. But there's the important thing, especially when it comes to like New Year's resolutions, is it needs to be something that is quantifiable, something that is tangible, measurable, and specific enough for you to know that this is something that you can measure, that you can track, that you can do. And if it's not, then you need to refine that goal. And doing that is something that we go into in the Resolute workshop. So because you want to know how you've succeeded at doing this, and just, oh, I'm going to feel this way. That's not that's not tangible. Sure, you probably will, but how are you going to know that you're on the right path if you're not going to feel that way until you've done the thing? So you need to know, like, that you are taking steps to do it. So um one of the things, okay, I because I know I'll be seeing a lot of people this winter for weight loss. And one of the things, like, resolutions people make is like, oh, I'm going to get healthier this year. And I'm like, okay, well, that's not really quantifiable in the way that we're talking about. It's not that specific. And when we're not specific, our mind will just kind of drift, and it could lead to a result that technically will fulfill that goal, but isn't what you're looking for. So maybe you are like, oh, when you say get healthy, you mean lose weight, and maybe that doesn't happen, but you're eating healthier, but you're just eating more, something like that. So that is one thing that is very important when it comes to New Year's resolutions, is being very specific in your goals and being able to measure them and track the progress. The other thing that tends to trip people up is we will make a huge goal. And okay, this is the ultimate thing. And that's, that's great, to have that in there. But like, okay, I want to do it in a year. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get like 20,000 followers on social media in 6 months' time or something like that. Okay, now that's that's specific. I'm gonna do it by May 1st. But is how are you going to go about doing something like that? Like maybe you can do that, but then you end up not making any money in the process. Is that really what you want? So the other thing I would say is to make things in small chunks and little bite-sized pieces of goals, because like I said, reaching one goal creates another goal. So that's important to realize. We are always moving through these. So if we break those up into small chunks, then we're using this principle of compounding interest, because oh look, I'm achieving this goal, I'm achieving this. You're finding the wins, you are making the wins happen. Whereas if we're just focused on that one big goal, we're not going to see the hundreds of little wins that go into creating that big one, that big success. So if we break them into bite-sized chunks, and we with a few small measurable goals, that we can easily achieve in over a few weeks, over a month or two, that helps to build momentum as we move towards that larger goal, that bigger resolution. Then we can just go step by step and accomplish it. And we're working towards that goal. But it feels like when we're there, boom, it's just like, oh, wow, look at that. I'm here. So those are good things to do. And like I said, writing it down, journaling, and that's something that I have not been really great about in the past, but it does help. Writing down your goals every day, it helps keep you focused. It lets you know what you're feeling about them too. So you don't want to just write it down, but sit with it in the morning for like 5 minutes. Read it out loud, and look at that goal as you've written it down, and just notice how you feel. How are you feeling about that goal today? And are you still feeling good about it? Is there a resistance to it? Is there fear surrounding it? Is there doubt? And then you can work on letting go of whatever is surrounding that. But having that down, it keeps us feeling good about what we're doing. It reminds us it, and it is a reminder. Okay, this is what I want. This is what I'm doing, and it snaps our focus back, because there's a billion and one things out there that are competing for our attention all the time. And having that written down, making it a point to sit with it in the morning and read it, will help you stay focused on it and feeling good about it, so you can move forward. So that is one thing. And writing it down in like, like a wins journal where you can track your success. And like the wins journal, it's similar to tracking, but it could be a little more flexible. So any wins that you feel like you're getting, because like I said, look at it as a big journey towards that and find the wins anywhere you can. And if you write them down, then you can go, okay, this was good. This was unexpected. But I can see how it fits into this. And even if it doesn't, like it still, this made me feel good. This was a win. This was a nice thing that happened. Write it down and it'll keep you in that loop of feeling good about it. And like I said, it doesn't matter how small, it doesn't matter how big it is. Just a win is a win. When the whistle sounds, the team with the most points wins. And no matter how much they struggle to get that, they still get the win. So there it is. And one last thing I'm going to talk about is when it comes to your resolutions is know why you are doing it, and just understand where the desire for these goals is coming from. So is it coming from a need inside of you, like this will fulfill me, and I know this to be something that I'm going to do, where you are in it? Or is it from a place of, all right, well, I should do this. Oh, it's New Year's now, I guess I should, or I need to do this, or even worse, oh, I have to do this, I have to do this now. And because if we're coming at these things from that place of like, I'm the supposed tos, then that's how we end up in that 91% of people who don't stick to the resolutions, because our heart is not in it. If we're feeling forced, coerced, like I have to do this, I should do this, I need to do this, then we are going to constantly, on a subconscious level, be looking for ways to ditch out on doing that. So that's another reason why journal, keep track of the wins, and stay feeling good about the things that we're doing, because it should come from a good place, not a forced place. So know why you're doing it. And you can feel avoidant about things like, I want to, I have to, I need to, but it also means that you're not really getting anything done with it. Um, if you feel like you have to do something, you're forcing yourself. And if you're forcing yourself, you're burning willpower, you're burning energy, and how long is that going to last? Um, and say, I want to, that's more positive. But when you're coming to think, oh, I want this, I want that, that's where a lot of people get stuck. And so I would invite you, instead of looking at what you want, look at what you're choosing to do. I'm choosing to do this. I don't want to do this. I'm choosing to do this. I'm choosing this because this moves me towards what I truly desire. Um, so there, and that's something that we get more into is moving from that place of want to place of choice, and really empowering yourself to make your goals uh, happen. Getting building that consistency and having that internal dialogue, that's that why this is important to me, that really hits on like the emotional part of our goals, will help us stick to it. But you need to know why it's important to you. or like versus I have to, I need to, I want to kind of thing, and feel good about yourself. Um, feel love for yourself for going on this journey, for taking these steps, and knowing that, yeah, you're gonna, some days might be easier than others, but it's still doing that, and you know, find ways to enjoy yourself while you're doing it. And that's something that's important, because you're always in control. And maybe, here and there we need to make course corrections and change things up, go in a different direction. That is not the same as failing. That is not giving up. That's just adjusting strategy based on new information. Like I said, when you think of that mountain in the distance, it doesn't look as big. And you're like, oh, wait, now I'm up close. I see all right. I can't just like hike up it. I'm going to need some actual climbing gear. And you adjust for it, but you keep going. You know what to do. So, um, yeah, that is the big thing. I hope there's some useful nuggets in there for you. And if you enjoyed that and you want to learn more, I really would encourage you to check out my workshop coming up. This is a 5-week workshop, 5-week class on being resolute and sticking to your goals. It starts on January 15th. So that is a Sunday. It's going to be at 3 p.m. Pacific time, and it's going to be for 5 weeks. As we go through this and eliminate blocks, eliminate the fears that have been holding you back. They're keeping you stuck in that same place that cause you to doubt yourself. So this is a really great goal setting process that is designed to help you eliminate resistance and to just keep you being resolute. So I'm going to show you how to get rid of the old programming that you've got that's keeping you stuck. How to start enjoying the journey towards making your goals. And more importantly, setting congruent goals that are easily accepted by your subconscious mind. So this goes into affirmations and the potential downsides of those. So one of the things, if you like, one of the common New Year's resolutions, I'm going to lose weight, I'm going to work out, I'm going to go to the gym. But if that story is, that internal pattern is, I hate working out, I don't enjoy this, but you're telling yourself, I'm going to go to that, it's not congruent. And that's where you run into a conflict. So I'll show you how to set congruent goals that your subconscious mind will go, oh, okay, and get on board with. How to stay motivated, enjoy that journey, break free of any sort of emotional conflicts that come up, um, overcome any fear, negative self-talk that the process of going after our goals can bring up. We might think that we have something completely down. Oh yeah, I'm good with this. But then when we start on the goal and we hit it, that could come up and really be surprising and demotivating because we're not expecting it. These things can come up, so I'll show you how you can overcome all of that when it does happen, and just stop that voice in the back of your head that's just being too hard on yourself. um and again, like, the most important thing is becoming comfortable experiencing the discomfort that comes from reaching our goals, because we're moving out of our comfort zone. That's where our goals are. If they were inside our comfort zone, we would have them already, but we have to go out. We're always growing, and that means getting comfortable with discomfort. Because I want you to absolutely crush it in 2023 along with me, because that's what I plan on doing. So now, like I said, this is 5 weeks. Uh, Sundays, 3 o'clock, starting January 15th. And I'm going to help you shift your mindset and set your goals. And this is a great deal because it is only $43. And it's not going to be this low again next time I offer it. Right now, it's New Year's. I think it'll be fun, and I just want people to show up. So $43, 2023. Up. So I figured that would be a good thing. So every week we'll have a live class, and then you will have the recordings of that class available to you, lifetime access to that, all the material, workbooks, PDFs that I make will come with it. Help removing any emotional blocks that you run into, and there will be homework to help you stay on target and reach your goals. So if this sounds interesting to you, and like I say, if you can't make it live, you will have access to the class recordings. So go to lifeisjustbeginning.com/resolute and sign up today for that. Like I said, you've got 14 days until the class starts. So if you are ready to start achieving goals, to remove any blocks or getting in the way, to make sure that the goals that you've set are congruent and that we're not accidentally placing booby traps in there for ourselves to talk us out of it, because that has happened, then go ahead and go to lifeisjustbeginning.com/resolute, sign up today, and I hope to see you on Sunday, January 13th or 15th, excuse me, as we start this, because I mean, for $43, that is a much better deal to stay on your goals than coming to me in February for one-on-one sessions, which count a lot more, cost a lot more than $43. So I'm going to encourage you to take the class so you can avoid all of that. And like I said, it will never be this this low again. So yeah, I will put a link in the comments below, in the description, wherever we've got that. So because I know I'm streaming to multiple channels right now. But yeah, I hope that this has been helpful to you. Let me know what you think, comment, like all that stuff, wherever you are seeing this, and say hi. And yeah, go to check it out, lifeisjustbeginning.com/resolute, and sign up today before time runs out. But only if you're serious about sticking to your goals this year. So yeah, that is all. And happy new year, everyone. And thank you for watching. And I will be seeing you soon.